into the skies.
UFOs, unidentified flying objects. What are they, and do alien spacecrafts actually exist? Well, for years, sightings have been reported and documented from different parts of the world. But now UFOs may be closer than you think. All of these drawings are of UFOs seen at night over the past 12 years outside of Middletown, New York. For the past 5 months, these sightings have been investigated by Harry Liebelson, field observer for the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization in Tucson, Arizona, and contributing editor to the science magazine, Omni.
I had been notified through a friend that something strange was going on up in the Middletown area. A young couple up there had been seeing unidentified flying objects, which is what they, quote, said to me. So my curiosity was really baited, and I just decided to investigate it. I have to make observations based on witness testimonies.
Harry started talking to people in town and found out a local police officer had one of the first sightings in 1972. The police officer was willing to tell us about his experience, but did not want to be recognizable on camera. I
saw this object hovering over the field, my neighbor's field, right next door to the house. And I then put my glasses on, and I thought, oh, mother of God, look at this thing. And you'd actually see this saucer-shaped vehicle hanging in the sky, but what really impressed me was the fact that it had this pulsating glow around it, it went from a scarlet, bright scarlet red, and then it would seem to diminish in size when it went down to a greenish color.
As we continue to hear the policeman's story, artist Frank Herrick illustrated his description.
You could feel the hair stand on the back of my neck. I've never seen anything like it. I watched it for close on to an hour, and all of a sudden it just disappeared.
Harry also received testimony from Butch Hunt, who claims to have seen a similar object in great detail, but from a different angle. You and how many other people were with you?
Well, there was 5 of us in the car.
Uh-huh.
And we were coming from that direction, and we saw the ship come right over that hill. We stopped on the bridge.
This bridge, okay.
Got out, and by that time it was right over us and made sort of like a whooshing sound. Oh, maybe like a fan.
Butch said the object flooded the bridge with light. It appeared to be about 100 feet wide and was so close he could have hit it with a rock.
These people have not panicked, as Orson Welles' War of the Worlds would seem to indicate. They're very sensible about it, and they've agreed to live with the phenomena.
Even though some of the sightings occurred quite some time ago, they are by no means the only sightings. Recently, Harry documented a great deal of activity that adds to the list of strange occurrences. For example, Yvonne Comeau and Dean Stickle saw this object only 3 months ago.
It moved toward us, and then it would stop. Then the lights came at us.
When it was over here, when we first saw it, it was like a yellow and white, really bright, with the one light on the ground, like flashlight beam. And then it went over the cab of the truck, so we couldn't really see it. So I moved the truck up a little bit further, and it was like a red. And it would go a few feet and stop, go another few feet and stop. No sound at all, very eerie.
Harry and a colleague, Ellen Crystal, later started going out into the field to try and find proof of what Harry had heard.
What we saw, I consider to be very, very unique and strange. And what we saw was a simple something object, which was a bright red-orange. The light was so intense, no definition could be made as to what it was, except that it was a huge glowing mass that seemed to be following us.
Both Ellen and Harry took pictures of what they saw that evening, but when the pictures were developed, they looked like this.
I worked for a while as a freelance photojournalist, so I consider my darkroom knowledge to be, pretty well defined. And I know from my own experience of working with color film that nothing like this was caused by a development defect.
Since that first sighting, they have claimed to have seen a number of other unidentifiable objects taking these shapes, none of which they were able to record on film.
The last 6 rolls of film that we've had processed, and we have processed these films with a professional laboratory. Nothing has appeared on any of these 6 rolls. There are 24 frames on a roll. So that's what we got, nothing.
Our curiosity was aroused, and we decided to get a first-hand look. That evening, Sam Steckert, a physicist, was brought in with special equipment in the hopes of providing detailed photographs.
As field observers, basically, before we even snap the shutter, we have to differentiate what's a plane, what's not a plane.